Hello and welcome to Salt Lamp Gaming. As I was going through some of those Warfighter expansions, I actually just had this delivered, so I thought it'd be a great opportunity to do another unboxing. So I pre-ordered this game a few weeks, maybe like a month ago. When I started wargaming or solitaire gaming, I wasn't all that into World War II. I was had more of a focus on sort of Cold War and modern. But as I've gone on, I've realised I was being quite close-minded and missing out on some really good gaming experiences. So this is a Salerno 43 from GMT Games, who I'm sure you all know. It's designed by Mark Simonitch, who is quite a big name. He has a series. I think it's like Normandy 44, Holland 44, Stalingrad. I think let's say like Ardennes or Battle of the Bulge, something like that. But anyway, I've heard the games are great, really crunchy, quite in-depth simulation. So basically the complete opposite of the Warfighter stuff I was looking at earlier. But I've heard this is actually a bit more accessible than some of Mark Simonitch's other games because it's a bit more scaled back. And from what I've seen of this game as well, it has like a really cool emphasis on the not just the battle itself on like a man-to-man level, but like actually getting past the terrain and trying to figure out the best way to utilize the terrain or move around the map. This is a two-player game, and it has quite a low solitaire rating, but I reckon, like most war games, you just kind of have to play both sides to the best of your ability. I find some games that's really hard to do, but games like this, where it's like a landing invasion, and one side has a clear defensive motivation, the other side has a clear offensive motivation. I find it actually quite easy to solitaire, and it can be quite challenging as well. Because when I first started getting into the gaming, and I saw people say you can play pretty much any game solitaire, I just couldn't understand how. But having done it a few times now, it's actually a really cool experience, and you kind of it focuses your play better, especially as you are playing both sides, but in my head at least, when I play these games single player, I tend to focus more on one side, and then use the other one to just kind of exploit the mistakes I've made and see how I can get around it. So I think Marco Omnigamer, who I'm sure you all know, did a review on this recently and said he had quite an easy time playing solitaire. So I'm hoping I will as well. So this covers the Allied, or part of the Allied invasion of Italy. I'm not going to pretend to know too much about the history because I don't, but I will do some research. And I am quite interested actually in the Mediterranean front of World War II. I don't think it's talked about very often, and I'd be interested to see on what level this game works. Because I'm sure, like most GMT games, it's going to have quite a good historical emphasis. So there we go. First things first, D6, pretty standard. No, I never quite know why they put them in these little baggies, but I guess it's a nice touch. It's always nice to have some lying around. Rulebook seems to be about 32 pages all in all, with a extended example of play, which is nice. GMT rulebook's always great, nicely laid out, good colour, nice quality. Examples along all throughout, which is nice. Should help you pick up the game quite easily. I'm not too sure how difficult this is going to be, but we'll see. So it looks good, nicely laid out, like I said. And someone like Mark Simonitch, I know, has been designing for a long time. I'd imagine these rulebooks are extremely tight, especially as most of these games share the same kind of core system. Again, I will do a playthrough of this eventually when I have time. I've got quite a bit of time off work in the next couple of weeks, so I should be able to upload quite regularly. Again, it's always nice to have an extended example of play here, which you can kind of follow along with that. Yeah, it looks good so far. It doesn't seem to have a playbook, which most GMT games do, but I've got an extended example of play, so it's nice. But I do like those playbooks because they will give you some nice historical flavour. I'm sure there's some. I'll be very shocked if there's no kind of designer notes in here. There we go. Rulebook. The map here. We'll take a look at that properly in a second. This is kind of like your order of battle, where you can, place to kind of store your reinforcements and things like that. I think there's 2 scenarios that come with the game. Yeah. So I think one of them is like a kind of the full campaign, the other one's just kind of half if you want to play in a couple of hours. I think playing solitaire does add some time to the playing, because you're having to focus. You're basically playing 2 sides. And we've got the German forces there. One-sided, that one. Again, really nice quality. But it's nice to have this, so you can kind of lay it out and get it set up quite quickly instead of going through the rulebook and trying to find forces individually. Nice. And here we have, it looks like CRT, yeah, combat result table. Pretty standard looking. I'm not sure, I'll go into this in a bit more detail when I start playing. Seems to be a lot of retreating and exchanges and things like that. Defense table, I'm not sure what that's about yet. Attrition, which is nice. I always like the games which focus on supply lines. Rallying, modifiers here. Sequence of play. Looks good. Nice. I like games as well that have like a landing procedure. I think it's nice. There's a lot of flavour and a lot of tension as well. Especially, I also really enjoyed games which gives you access to airborne and kind of dropping your soldiers in. Disengagement. So yeah, it does look like a lot of information. And I find these games quite intimidating at first, but once you start playing, it's really not too bad in my experience most of the time. But like I said, I've never played a Simonitch game, so we'll see. Maybe I'm being quite optimistic. So kind of layout of different forces in the game there. Very nice. Glider infantry, commandos, Fallschirmjäger, recon units. Very cool. And then we've got the kind of terrain here, terrain effects chart. And a lot of this game, I think you'll see when I get the map out in a second, is focus on mountain and hill terrain, which will be interesting. Some city fighting. Out of supply, disrupted. Nice. Got another one here. Obviously, it's a 2-player game, but it'd be good because you can, if you're playing a solitaire, you can have one page here, and maybe have this one set out like this for different ease of access. Nice. The majority of GMT games I have are coin games, which, while they do come with counters, they're kind of mostly administrative counters, because those games are played with little wooden blocks. So, keen to see these. They feel really nice, got like a matte finish to them. I reckon they punch quite easy as well. Yeah, nice. I tend not to clip my games because I just don't really have the time. I'm not quite a full-on grognard yet, but I'm sure eventually I will be. But these look nice, pretty much pre-cut, more or less. So you've got the German forces here. Seems to have quite a lot of armour and things like that, and then they've got these paratrooper units here too. Nice colour scheme. Can't go wrong with grey for the Germans. It's nice to have these light blue ones here as well, just to denote some differences. Out of supply markers. Some administrative stuff. Looking good. And then we've got the Allies over here. Again, we've got a lot of like airborne units, infantry units. I think this is artillery. I can't quite remember. Supply or logistics units here. So I think the green is American, and then this is Commonwealth. Some nice, I'm not sure if you can see that there, actual unit insignia on some of these too, which is a nice touch. Commando units. See if there's probably have some special rules for those and things like that. Tanks, more administrative stuff here. Support fire markers, I believe. Yeah, looking very good. Nice colour scheme on these. Nothing too groundbreaking, but very pleasant to the eye. Especially these colours on the background. I like the yellow on the grey here and the red on the tan. Let's see the back of these as well. Reduced side. I think there's an element of some hidden units here. I'm not quite sure how that works yet. It looks very nice. Punch very easily. Great quality, as we've come to expect from GMT. I think altogether this game cost me about £30 on pre-order, which I think is more than reasonable. This is a very recent release from GMT, and I'm really excited to get started on it. This is the map. Whoops. Still working out some of the logistics of filming in my flat. It's quite small. Might have to go handheld for this. So, nice paper map, seems good quality. I think you can order a mounted map if you want to. I don't mind paper maps at all. I do want to get some plexiglass sorted, just to kind of keep these edges down a bit here. Kind of creasing it already. So really nice detail on the map. I've actually been on holiday to this area. I'm sure I had a way better time there than the troops did. So yeah, very mountainous region. I think these are the objective hexes. And you'll be landing your forces on the beach here. And it looks like it's probably essential to get a lot of momentum at first before you start getting bogged down in these hilly areas. So I know this isn't the best view of the map, but it's kind of all I can do right now. So they've got like turn record track here, reserve boxes, I think there's a weather chart there, sequence of play, another terrain chart here. I think some of the units are multi-step and you store them here. But yeah, that's a look at Salerno 43. I'm sure there's probably a lot better unboxings of this game out there, but I thought, like I said, it literally just arrived. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to show you guys. It's cool, yeah. This is Salt Lamp Gaming. I will have a playthrough of this coming soon. Just bear with me. I hope you are having a great day and enjoying the videos.